Alright, so good night, good morning once again. Sorry, Leah here once again, and today we are continuing with our random multiple choice questions. Anyway, so I'll not waste any time. Let me get straight into this video. Now I have here the first one. The reason why I chose to begin with this first one is because the last multiple choice I did, I left out a last line, and hence the answer was wrong. But I made the correction in the comments. But let me just make a video correcting what I did. So it says if P and Q are two sets where number of P union Q is equal to 13, the number of P intersect Q is equal to 6, the number of elements in set P is equal to 9, and the number of elements in set Q is equal to. Alright, I want everybody to pay keen attention to what I did here. I'll use the counting, I think they call it the counting rule. And what that basically says, like the last time, the number of elements in P union Q is equal to the number of elements in P plus the number of elements in Q subtract the number of elements in P intersect Q. Alright, and then we fill in the things that we know. The number of elements in P union Q, that will be 13. So it's 13 is equal to number of elements in P is 9 plus the number of elements in Q. We don't want to find that, so let's just give that as X minus the number of elements in P intersect Q, and that is 6, right? 6. Good, then we work it out, we'll get 13 will be equal to 9 subtract 6, right? That will give you 3 plus X. So X will be equal to 13 subtract 3, and that will give you a value of X. And this X, I said, represents the number of elements in Q. But that is not, oh shucks, and that will give you 10, right? But that 10 that we just found there, that is the number of elements in Q, and that includes the intersection, which is 6. But we don't want to find the number of elements in Q plus the intersection. We want to find the number of elements in Q alone. So the number of elements in Q, and we said that is X, is equal to 10 subtract the number of elements in the intersection, which is 6. So that will be equal to 4. So the number of elements in Q is equal to 4, which is A. Alright, hope you understood what I did there. The last time I ended up the question at this, and that just gave that gave us the number of elements in Q plus the intersection, right? But we don't want to find that. We want to find the number of elements in Q alone. Alright, so let me continue. Alright, so we're moving on, and this one says below is a circle with center C. A, B, D, and E are points on the circumference. BD is the diameter of the circle. Angle CDA is 18, and angle EAD is 31. So let me see what they want us to find. The size of angle EDA. So they want us to find the size of angle ED. Oh. They want us to find the size of angle EDA, right? Which is this angle here. Good. So you want to find this angle. Good. So we know we gotta apply this circle theorem, or I wanted the circle theorem here. From looking at this this circle and this shape inside the circle, we can see we can apply two circle theorem. The theorem that deals with the triangle in the semicircle, and also the theorem that deals with the cyclic quadrilateral. So let's see what we can do. First, before we can find this here, before we can find that angle, we gotta find some other angles. And let's apply this rule. Let's see, this here will be a right angle because the angle in the semicircle is 90 degrees. So this whole circle here, this whole piece will be 90 plus 31, and that will equal to 121. So this whole thing here is 121. Yeah, so it says the opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral are supplementary, which means they are equal to 180. So if this side here is 120, that means this whole side here will be 180 subtract 121. 121, sorry, right? 180 subtract 121. When you work it out, you will get 59 degrees. So this whole thing here is 59 degrees, right? But we don't want to find for that whole thing. We just want to find for this angle. I hope it's not looking too confusing. And we see that they gave us this angle here as 18. Alright, let me erase some of these lines. Yeah, they gave us that angle as 18. So if that side is 18 and we want to find for this piece, we just subtract the 59 subtract 18, and that will give you the size of angle EDA, and that is 41 degrees, right? So that angle there is 41 degrees, which is A. Alright, so we'll continue with another circle theorem question. It says B, C, D, and E are points on the circumference of the circle below. Center O, BD is the diameter of the circle, and the diagram is not drawn to scale. And they ask us to find DBE. DBE, right? That is what they want us to find. Oh shucks. Which is this angle here. So let's see what we can do to find that angle. From looking at the diagram, you can see we can use a theorem that says angles in the same segment are equal, because we have this angle here, DCE, that is in the same segment as DBE, the angle that we want to find. If you notice, they both end with DE, right? So that is how we know they are in the same segment. So if here is 34, here will also be 34. 34, which is B. Good, so we continue. And this one says if V squared is equal to U squared plus 2AS, then S is equal to, so you see that they want us to make S the subject of the formula. So we know that is very easy. Let's see. V squared is equal to U squared plus 2AS. And they want us to make S the subject of the formula. So first we take over this U squared. This U squared is adding, so we take it over to be V squared subtract U squared is equal to 2AS. And this 2A is multiplying, so we take it over to divide V squared minus U squared. All of that divided by 2A is equal to S. Right? And that answer there is A. V squared is equal to U minus S is equal to V squared minus U squared, all of that divided by 2A. Alright, so we continuing. This one says the length of the sides of a triangle are x, 2x, and 2x centimeters. If the perimeter is 20 centimeters, what is the value of x in cm? So we know perimeter is the total distance around. We know triangle got two sides. So for this triangle, the perimeter will be x plus 2x plus 2x, and they said the perimeter is how much? 20, right? So x plus 2x plus 2x, that will give you 5x, and that is equal to 20. So x will be equal to 20 divided by 5. x is equal to 20 divided by 5, that is 4. So x has a value of 4 cm, which is A. Alright, so if the mean of four numbers, 4, 8, x, and 12 is 10, then x is equal to, once again, we gotta solve x, right? And we know mean. Mean is average, so we gotta find the average of these four numbers, and no, now we gotta find it. They told us the average is 10. So we know 4 plus 8 plus x plus 12, and divide all of that by, we got four numbers, the mean is 10. Alright, so 4 plus 8, that will give you 12, 12 and 12, that will give you 24. So we got 24 divided by 24 plus x divided by 4, that is equal to 10. Alright, so we work to the top here, right? So it says 24 plus x divided by 4 is equal to 10. Is equal to 10 times 4. 24 plus x is equal to 10 times 4, that is 40. X will be equal to 40 subtract 24. X will have a value of 16. Is 16? Yeah. 40 minus 24 is 16, and that answer there is D. So we continue. The length of one side of the legs in a right angle triangle is 4. If the hypotenuse is 12 cm long, what is the length of the other side? So it says it's a right angle triangle, and they give us two sides, the hypotenuse and the other side, and they want us to find the other side of the triangle. And we know BOPs, we know two sides, and we want to find the other side. We use the Pythagorean theorem, right? And the Pythagorean theorem says the square root of the longest side, alright, is equal to the sum of the square root of the two remaining sides. And it says the longest side here, which is hypotenuse, is 12. So that would be 12 squared is equal to the other side, they said, is 4 squared plus the side that we want to find, let's call it x squared. So this will now be 12 squared subtract 4 squared, can we take over the 4 squared, is equal to x squared. So 12, 12, 144, subtract 4, 4 is 16, is equal to x squared. So 144 subtract 16, that will give you a value of 128 is equal to x squared. So x will have a value of the square root of 128. And x will be equal to 11.3 cm, right? When you find the square root of 128, and that there is A. CXC wanted us to work here. So the next one says, what is the gradient of the straight line 2y is equal to negative 3x minus 8? So the gradient, we know for the equation of the straight line, y equal mx plus c, the gradient is m, right? So we got to put this here into that form, y equal mx plus c, and m will be the gradient. So we see if you want to put that in that form, all we got to do is take over the 2. So y will be equal to negative 3x minus 8, all of that divided by 2. So y will be equal to negative 3 over 2x minus 8 over 2. So the gradient here will be negative 3 over 2, which is B. Alright, so which of the following points lie on the line y equal to x minus 3? So we got to see which one of these coordinates satisfy that equation. So we know this will be the x value, that will be the y value, right? So let's plug in that first one. y equal to x plus 3. Y in this case would be 3 is equal to 2 bracket x. This side is 2 minus 3. 3 will be equal, when we work out this side, we should get 3. 2 times 2 is 4 minus 3, that will give you 1. So that is not correct. So that is incorrect. So let's try B. B said y will be negative 1 is equal to 2 times x, which is negative 2 minus 3. So negative 1 will be equal to 2 times negative 4. 2 times negative 2, that will be negative 4. Subtract 3, and that will give you a negative 7. So that is not correct also. So let's try C. C is 4 and 1. So let's plug in 4 and 1 and see that will satisfy the equation. So y in this case would be 1 is equal to 2 times x, which will be 4, subtract 3. 2 times 4 is 8, subtract 3. That is what, 5? So that is not correct either. So the last one got to be the answer. 0 and negative 3. So let's see, y will be negative y will be negative 3. And sorry, what am I doing? And that is equal to 2 times x, which will be 0 minus 3. 2 times 0 is 0 minus 3, and that will give you negative 3. So negative 3 is equal to negative 3. So that satisfies the equation. So the answer there is D. So this one, there are red, yellow, and green lollipops in a bag. What is the probability of selecting a blue one? Alright, so we clearly see we don't have any blue lollipops. So the probability will be impossible, and that will be 0, which is B. As long as the probability is at 0, that means it is impossible. The outcome is impossible. Because if you got red, yellow, and green lollipops, there's no way of pulling out a blue one. Alright, so my favorite question here. Which of the following expressions represents the volume of the cylinder below? Alright, so we got the cylinder here. We got this here and this here. Those are the sides that we got to use. And it says the volume, the formula that we use to find volume of a cylinder is pi r squared h. R is the radius, h is the height, right? So the radius would be half of this, and this would be the height. So let's work that out and see what we'll get. So pi. Alright, so let me just leave out the pi so that we can work comfortable. We know that pi is multiplying this a, right? At the end I will put in pi will be multiplied by that. So the radius would be half of this, because we know 2x plus 4 is the diameter. So the radius, we gotta divide that by 2. When we divide that by 2, this will turn 2. So it's x plus 2. So it's x plus 2 squared multiplied by the height, which is this here, right? 3x minus 1. So x plus 2 squared, let me work it out. X plus 2 times x plus 2 times 3x minus 1. Alright, so we work it out. We multiply the x by both sides, both terms. X times x will give you x squared plus 2x. 2 times x will give you 2x. 2 times 2 will give you 4. And all of that multiplied by 3x minus 1. So let's group this up and work it out. We'll now have x squared, 2x plus 2x, that will give you 4x plus 4. And all of that multiplied by 3x minus 1. Wow, like I won't have space here, but let me see. Alright, so let's distribute this 3x to this all these numbers in the bracket. 3x times x squared, that will give you 3x to the third power. 3x times 4x, that will give you plus 12x squared. 3x times 4, that will give you plus 12x. Negative 1 times x squared, that will give you minus x squared. Negative 1 times 4x, that will give you negative 4x. Negative 1 times 4, that will give you a negative 4. And then we group the like terms. So we now have 3x cubed. Alright, so we see this and this is like, right? 3x cubed, 12x squared minus 11x, that will give you minus x, that will give you plus 11x squared. So we got 4x and 12x, 4x and 12x. You work on those two, that is 4x minus 12x minus 4x. That will give you what? Plus 8x. Anything for match this here, minus 4. So that is 3x minus 4, and we know all of this got to be multiplied by the pi that we left out, right? So it's pi times all this will give you the area, the volume of that cylinder, and that answer there is C. Alright, so we know what we got to do if CSEC brings a question like this. Hopefully they will not bring such a complicated one for you, but you know, you got to be prepared for every single thing. So let me see what else we have here. Alright, so I don't have any more questions for this session. Anyway, so I'll keep the videos rolling as I come across multiple choice that I think are worthy of doing a video about. Alright, remember the key this year is to practice. Good luck, everybody. See y'all next time.